Shalom and good afternoon, everybody. It's the final episode of the Israel Brief for this week. You know we do it every Monday to Thursday right here with me, Rolene Marks, and brought to you by these guys, Lay of the Land. And it has been quite a harrowing week, a very, very emotional week for many of us watching events unfold around the world. And before we go into the weekend, let's take a look at those top stories, and we begin with quite a positive story. Egypt's intelligence minister was visiting the country for the last 2 days. He met with Prime Minister Bennett. He met with our defense minister Benny Gantz, as well as Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. But he comes with an invitation, a formal invitation from President Sisi, extended to Prime Minister Bennett to visit Cairo soon. This will be the first time since 2011 that an Israeli premier has been invited or will be visiting Egypt. So it is quite a momentous occasion, and to mark that, our NSA, our National Security Association, have dialed back the travel warnings to the Sinai Peninsula. It's a popular holiday destination for many Israelis. It has been a place of grave danger, but they have dialed back the threat warning, and hopefully it will be open for tourists pretty soon. This is not the first diplomatic visit scheduled for the Prime Minister. He will meet with US President Joe Biden next week on the 26th of August at the White House. And top of the list of priorities will be discussing Iran and the Iranian threat, as well as the Iranian nuclear deal. Now, this is a very, very important meeting. It takes place in the wake of the situation in Afghanistan, the pullout of American troops by President Biden, and will also set the tone for the future relationship of these two leaders. It's going to be interesting to see how they navigate each other, what points come up for discussion, and what kind of relationship between the two leaders is formed there. On the subject of Afghanistan, many Jewish organizations have weighed in on the situation. WITSO, the Women's International Zionist Organization, expressed their grave concern for the situation of women on the ground, saying that as a women's organization that works for the improvement of the status of women, they are extremely concerned about the future for the Afghan people under the reign of the Taliban. The Board of Deputies for British Jews also weighed in, expressing their horror at the unfolding situation on the ground, especially for women. The Anti-Defamation League said that they are very, very concerned with the status of minorities. There are many Sikhs, Hindus. There is one Jew left in Afghanistan. We brought you the story yesterday of Zebulon Simantov. He says he prefers to stay there. The details of his rationale are a bit nebulous, but nevertheless, there is concern for the status of minorities. And the European Union of Jewish Students have also expressed their grave concern, especially for the women and young girls of Afghanistan. But garnering his fair share of criticism yet again is President Biden, who appeared on ABC's George Stephanopoulos show last night. Stephanopoulos grilled him about the events in Afghanistan, and the president said that, it was an absolute eventuality that chaos would ensue. When asked how he felt about the images coming in of people falling from the planes, the president answered that was 4 or 5 days ago. This has led to an incredible amount of criticism, both in the media and on social media. And our final story takes us into the weekend, and Israel's Health Minister Nitzan Horowitz has announced today that any restrictions that would prevent gay men from donating blood will be lifted. The Health Minister went on to say that this is a historical moment and a significant step forward for equality for the LGBTQ plus community in Israel. So those are the stories as we head into the weekend. Don't forget, as always, to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our original content is up there. We have 3 articles on Afghanistan, one from Dave Kaplan giving the Israeli perspective, one on Justin Amler asking what is the future for Jews if we have to defend ourselves, and one from me discussing the humanitarian situation on the ground. And if you missed your Israel briefs from last week or just want to watch them again, we've got you covered there with recaps. We're also on Facebook. Please join our growing Facebook community by liking or following us and share this content. We seem to have quite the issue with censorship, so the more of you who share, the easier it is for us to get our voice out there. It's so appreciated by our team. We're on YouTube as well. Our community there is growing. And if you haven't pressed that red subscribe button and you're watching this on YouTube now, please go ahead and subscribe. That helps us get our voice out to as many people as possible. And if you're on Twitter, like so many of us are, and would like to interact and follow us there, we are at Lay of the Land with the digit 5. So from all of us at the Israel Brief and at Lay of the Land, I'm Rolene Marks. And I wish you all a safe, a healthy, and above all for all of us and for the world, a peaceful weekend. Shabbat Shalom. We'll speak next week.